Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. It's a Friday, and I've decided to do Damp Sam's vlog, or the Dampproofer's vlog. I ain't decided what I'm going to call it now. I did me walk round Barnsley yesterday, and when I was setting all my stuff up, I when I was uploading video, there's a couple of boxes that you have to check and stuff like that, and it asks you what you want to put your video onto. So usually it goes on to how to, but I saw that there were a box to click or to check, and it was vlogs, people and vlogs. And I've been watching a guy from Barnsley, some kind of van man or whatever, and it gave me an idea, and I thought, what I'll do is, if people are interested, I'll do some kind of video log, shortened to vlog, video log of what I do through a week, and it'll just get a bit more content. And I will keep putting how-to videos up and giving you some value. But there'll be a separate thing where I kind of just tell you what I'm up to, what I've been doing, my musings and thoughts, what I think, my opinion on things. And some people might be interested and some people might not. But you'll be able to see day-to-day running, the stresses and strifes, running businesses, doing damp proofing, plastering, being a landlord, running service accommodation, being an investor, and things like that. So it might be interesting. People might want to watch it. People might not. There's an off button. If you don't like it, turn it off. If you do like it, please like and share and subscribe for more content. So this morning, Friday, so I'll just explain what I've been up to. Nick's apprentice has been off all week. He's been in Ireland, and then he got back and went to college yesterday, I think. And then he sent me a message saying, "Do I need him in today?" And I did, because I'm driving down to do a survey in Derby, a property in Derby. I tell them I'll be there around about 10 o'clock, and it's kind of round about that time. Job that I've been doing this week that I did a how-to video on, showing you what we've been up to. That empty property just near me. I did all that, and I was waiting for it finished going off. It took ages as well, so I'm like sort of on my phone and things like that. And I'd forgot there were a patch upstairs in like old boiler cupboard, only a small one, sort of A for foot by A for foot by A for foot on ceiling and external wall. I just completely forgot about it, and the guy whose house it was sent me a message saying, oh, cheers for that, like you forgot about that bit up in thingy. So I've took Nixon down with all stuff. We've got some. He's going to put some isotherm on it, so he's going to put 3 patches of isotherm on it. And then I've told him to not get any isotherm past patch, and then to SBR it, and then skim over it. So that'll make it a warm, rather than it being a cold spot, it'll be a warmer spot, warmer surface, and also he'll be able to skim it in there if you don't get any of that adhesive on it, because if you try and skim over that adhesive while it's wet, you've no chance. It'll just go like gelic plaster. So I've dropped him off there with all tools and stuff, and then I went for my customary Starbucks. Other coffee places are available. So I only have a Starbucks because it's near us. We used to go to Costa, and that it's shut. The one in Barnsley Town Centre, it's shut. So we always used to go there. So now we go to Starbucks, which is on just round the corner from me, where sometimes I meet Scott from Barnsley, heating and refrigeration, and Mark, his brother. And today they were both there, and his mum, who works for him, she does all accounts and that. So we all had a coffee together. They go in there because they're doing work at Barnsley College and they can't get in while 9, I don't think. So my appointment's at 10. So I went and got me coffee, large soy latte. If anybody wants to get me a drink, you see me out and about, it's probably a large soy latte. But if it's after 12 o'clock, no, if it's after, I think 11 o'clock, I'll not have one. Just so I only have one in the morning. And with me being an old cunt, like, with me being old, coffee can sometimes set your bowels off. So as I'm driving down, I'm at a McDonald's now, a McDonald's drive-through. Best thing that's ever been invented, because rather than service stations, which are normally rammed full of lorry drivers, big airy ass lorry drivers, you can come to one of these, and normally one at cubicles is free. So I've gone in for a shite. Excuse my French, but listen, we all do it, even me. You know what I mean? And yeah, but I mean, it does smell of potpourri when it comes out. You know, not like the ordinary people. It just smells awful. Mine's like flowers and, you know, like a wooden glade. So I've gone in and it were empty. Well, disabled bog were full. I normally pop in there because I normally cleaner. So I had to go into common garden cubicle, and I'm in there, trousers right ankles, doing what you do, and it's a tight space, and door lock looked as though it's been vandalised. So I've got one hand on fucking door like that, and I could hear somebody come in for a piss, and then as I'm sat there like this listening, and my eyes going all over, I'm thinking there's somebody in here, and then I heard water run, and I heard dryer go, and then I didn't hear door go. So I thought, there's fucking still somebody in here. Anyway, I thought, I'm not hurrying up, so did what I had to do, got bog roll out, about 1 million sheets. That's what happens when you get older. It takes a bit more toilet roll to clean. Anyway, so I'm back in my mind, I think there's somebody in here. Anyway, pulls trousers up, gets smarts me send up, flush bog, goes out. There's a fucking bloke there queuing, waiting to get in with one of these on and all. So definitely a lorry driver. In fact, he's sat over there. No, he's in a chub. He's in a chub car. So that's the first. That's a tick off at bucket list. Apart from when you're in town and people are waiting to go in, you know, when you're out boozing and people are waiting to go in for a sniff, not a shite. But majority of the time, I've never had any issues, even in services, with people queuing to get it trap. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit. It puts you off a bit. You know, when you can sense there's somebody outside. Anyway, so that's that. Anyway, so I've got to go and do this survey, and what I'll do is I'll carry on video and I'll tell you what we've got to do. So we've had coffee, blah blah, and then we've done that. So I had a bit of sad news yesterday. A lad who I know kind of passed away in his sleep. Heart problems, I think. But he used to go to boys' club. Stu, they called him, Stu Hawkins, and he used to go to boys' club when I went when we were young. So I've known him since I was 11, and then all the way through, he was a bricklayer, then he was a postman, then he was a security guard, and when he split up with his missus, and he'd got a young daughter, and when he was splitting up with his missus and packed his job in bricklaying to go doing security guards, he phoned me up, asked me if I wanted to buy some of his tools. So I said, well, come and have a look. And he got a mixer, and I was going to buy a mixer off him. Well, I did. I bought a mixer off him. But when I was there, he'd got a steel saw. And I said, how much do you want for it all? And it was brand new steel saw. And he says, oh, give me 400. And then he kept throwing stuff on. He's like, have these. He says, I can't leave him in garage. So I ended up with still saw, a radio, a Bosch radio, mixer, cement mixer, 2 pair of triple ladders, a roof ladder, and then just loads of other stuff like little tools, knocking off a knocking off drill, all like, you know, new. And I'm saying, do you want any more? And he's like, no, I've not been doing it again. I've got get shutter it. And then he used to always post. He used to go in Costa when we went in. He liked his coffee. And he always used to post at Costa with his coffee. He got he met another lass, and then they had a young one together. And he used to take him to football. John, I think they called him. Take him to football and post all stuff. And then he had a spell where he would, because when he was younger, he did ABA boxing, and then he went and to one local boxing clubs. I think he went to Oil Mill. I might be wrong. And then he had a few bouts when he was younger. But then he took it up again about 10 years ago, and he had in his sort of 40s. He had he raised money for a charity, and he did a white collar boxing, and he did it twice. So and he always seemed to be keeping his son fit and that. I used to take videos of his son in gym, and it was sad news that you know, he'd passed away. I think family got like a history of heart problems, but he never mentioned that he had, and I never knew that he that he had any issues. But yeah, so that was sad news. We're on Facebook. So R.I.P. Stewie. So what else did I do? Did this video yesterday. Finished a report. So I did a report for a surveying report for one of the lads I know. He's got like got a dance school, Weber, and I finished that yesterday, but he'd not paid bill, so I couldn't send him it. So then I sent him a message saying, you've not paid bill. Well, it weren't bill, it was invoice. And when we do a survey, we get people to pay beforehand. And because I knew him, protocol kind of went out at window, and I didn't send all stuff to him before and get him to sign stuff and pay stuff before. So I was kind of playing catch up, and normally I don't do that with customers. We've got systems in place. Things go out first, and then we book you a date in for a survey. But because I knew him, it was like, oh, just come down and have a look. And that was the thing. I thought I was just going down to have a look at this job, and I thought it was something to know. But when I got down there, I went last Friday, and when I got down there, it's a dance school full of black mould everywhere. There's a flat above that was full of black mould, and it had ventilation, insulation issues and stuff like that. So it was a massive, and I'd give him a price for it. I think just based on like a normal house for survey. And it's a commercial property, and it should have been like 1,500 quid, but he's got it done cheap. So that's my bit done for the week. But anyway, I sat down. It took a long time to do. Good thing was he had some plans at building, so that saved a lot of time. So he sent me plans through, and I could mark down everything what we needed. He's going to get his own lads to do alt work. We're not going to be doing alt. So that's ready. When I get back, if he's paid, I'll send that off for him, and then he's got it. So I'm going to go and do this survey, and I'll see you in a threatening bit. Well, I've just been and done the survey. I need to be looking over here, don't I? For some reason, I always look over there. I think it's because they've got that red button. Been and done survey. What a lovely couple. Lovely couple. They'd got some problems in the property. Sent me pictures, and we sent her our charges, what we normally charge for the surveys, and where she lived, and I think it was a bit more than her budget, but I'd got a spare day today, or a spare morning. So what I said was, I'll come down, reduced rate, but rather than writing a full report and a drawing and everything, I'll do a site consultation. So I'll explain everything to you on site. You can, I'll spend as much time as you want with me, within reason, and then I'll do you an email quote and a plan and just show you what's needed. So I went down, met him, and I'd already seen pictures beforehand, and it looked to me like it were an internal issue, but I needed to go and have a look at outside property, inside property, and just get a feel of what's happening, just so I can, make my own conclusions. And it was what I thought. It were a lack of adequate ventilation, some poor insulation, but I had to just point out what were happening in each section. But lovely couple, thoroughly enjoyed the company, and I'll do survey report / email consultation thing over the next few days. And like I said, we did it at a reduced rate for her, because we're not going to be writing a report and a full survey up. So I've just and I'm driving back, and I've just come through this village, and I saw, as I was driving towards property, I saw this little quaint sandwich shop, which looked, it looked as if they did nice. It said hot food and all that. And I thought, I'll stop there on my way back. So I stopped there to get a sandwich. And I'm looking for hot food, and she just fetched a tray of sausage and bacon out. And I'm thinking, that sausage looks a bit pale. Anyway, bacon, they put it in a thing. Bacon looked dry. I thought, well, I'll get sausage. So I got sausage sandwich, large as well, on a big, on a big light roll. And I've just stopped to eat it, and I opened it up, and I'm not being funny, but I think they've cooked it on a match. The sausage were nearly white, and when you bite into them, and there's like a ping when you go through skin into like bread sausagey type thing. It knocked me a bit sick, actually. Now I'm thinking about it. It had like a taste. It had like when you go into an old school butcher's shop, and there's that smell of sawdusty, awful, that kind of taste, that kind of smell. It tasted like that. So so I'm a bit queasy now. Although I'm probably overthinking it. I mean, at the end of the day, it looked like a cheap sausage, and it's probably all bread anyway. There's probably hardly any mating. Probably a bit of cat or something like that. But anyway, I've ate it, and I'm invigorated now. When I'm saying I'm queasy, I'm not. So that survey's done. I'll drive down motorway now, see how Nixon's gone on skimming this patch. I don't think he's going to be ready yet. I think he'll have waited a bit before he skimmed it. And then that's done. What time are we on? I think it's just after dinner. So I think there was something else I was going to mention. I don't know whether it was about a job that we've done or a survey I've done. I'll have to have a think about that. But it's fucked up Fridays tonight. So me and Mel, this is as night. So once I've been in shower and everything, sit in my chair, put my telly on in big kitchen or kitchen diner, whatever you want to call it, extension, and 7 o'clock, BBC 4. It's old Top of the Pops, and we're at like 1992, I think. So I've been watching. We watch it every week from the start of. From when it first started, and they'll do 2 episodes from 90s, and then they'll either do one from 80s or 70s, and but last week they did 6, so they did 2 from 90s and then they did I think 2 from 80s and 2 from 70s, I think it was. So it were a good night. And we get wine. We get red wine. So I'll get. She'll fetch some wine from Aldi with screw top, and what we like, cheap, probably 3 for 11 quid, because we like value for money, either from Aldi or from Asda, wherever it's cheapest. And listen, red wine. There's no set. This is costs like, you know, 500 quid, and this is why it tastes good. This is why it's a good wine. Listen, you either like it or you don't. And if you've been brought up with cheap wine, you're gonna like cheap wine. I like red, and I like it to be fruity, and I like deep colours, and you know, around about 13%. What's not to like? So we'll pour them. And then just get fucked up, basically, you know what I mean? So we'll just drink them until we're into a stupor, and then go to bed tired. So and then we'll have a thoroughly good night. Because after Top It Pops, sometimes we'll put YouTube on, and then we've got a playlist, so we'll watch some old songs. And it could be a late one. So I think last Saturday we ended up, it was about 2:30, nearly 3 o'clock we went to bed. Yeah. And bear in mind, that's only on a Friday and a Saturday. Sundays I'm in bed at 9, and I'm up at on a weekdays I get up at 4:15, and I'm at gym at 5. So and then I'm doing emails and stuff like that. So weekends are for unwinding. And tomorrow I'll probably be going at gym at some point, and I'll be partly writing this this email consultation quote thing up for these guys. So so that's going to be my weekend. I wish I could remember what I was going to talk about. But this is second Damp Sam's vlog. And like I said, I'm still not decided on what title it's going to be. So if you've got any ideas, stick them in comments, and I'll consider all. But I'm gearing towards either Dampproofer's vlog, Diary of a Dampproofer. I mean, I might do that. The Diary of a Dampproofer. There's a lot of diaries of the Diary of a CAO, Diary of a Dampproofer. I think if you put vlogging, I don't know. Let me know. So Dampproofer's vlog, Diary of a Dampproofer. Damp stories from I'm just trying to think if there's out that is related to water that begins with ST. Am I missing somewhere here? Stories of steam. Steam stories. Humidity. Humanity of humidity. Come on, we can think of something better. Something that's going to catch people's eye. So this will be just for this title of this will be what goes on to the vlogging, and people when I send it out, it'll go on that side of things. And then, like I said, all others how-to videos will have their own title telling you what I'm talking about and what I'm giving you value about. So I hope you've liked it today, and I hope you're going to have a brilliant weekend if you're watching it near weekend. If not, have a brilliant week. So that's Damp Sam signing off. Bye-bye now. I've remembered what I was going to tell you earlier on. So I had to stop just to tell you. So basically on Wednesday, so it's now Friday, Wednesday, 2 days ago, went for a coffee, Starbucks early morning, and I'd parked at side of where they put trolleys in. Now, when I pulled in, there were a car behind me. So usually, I always reverse into a parking spot, like I have here. Just reverse into a parking spot. So there's less stress getting out. When you're reversing, there's a lot of things can go wrong. So on my left hand side, I've got Marks and Spencer's trolley thing, and there were cars on my right hand side, so I'd kind of been boxed in. So I'd got stuff on my mind, but I'm a wing mirror man. I'm forever looking in my wing mirrors, and then I'll look in that mirror, my back mirror, and I always look behind me. If I'm on motorway and I'm like sort of pulling into different lanes, my head's on a swivel. It's like that, 360 degrees. But on Wednesday, I gets into my car after I had my coffee, and I'm looking in wing mirror there. Look behind me, and I could see cars come in through car park. One car went past, and then another car. It was busy, and another car goes past, and then another car goes past, and I looks in my wing mirror here. I could see it, and it went past, and there were no cars. So I had to look that way, pulls out, bang. Like, oh, for fuck's sake. Look, opens door, looks in this mirror, and I could just see a car bonnet. Gets out, let's see that back, there's an old guy, a bit older than me, and is rubbing his car where I'd bumped into it, because I pulled forward then. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, I ain't had a bump for over, I don't know, since that guy ran into the back of me, which would be before lockdown. What's that, 7 year? So I gets out, and when I was younger, I'd have probably been screaming and shouting when I had a temper. But I got out and I thought, I've banged into him, it's my fault. And he says to me, and I says, sorry, I said, it was my fault. I should have looked in other mirror. I should have looked all the way around. I didn't see you. Because there was nobody in that mirror. And what he'd done is this. And I've no way of proving it, but it's just from what he said. He said he'd gone forward and he was waiting for somebody to pull out of the parking spot, so he'd stood still. I've got a funny feeling he went past, and then a guy were reversing out, and I think he's reversed back into my where I can't see him in a blind spot. And what I've done is I've sort of gone round at an angle, and corner of my bumpers bumped into where his door is, where liner his door is, and a slight bit on the other side. So we're rubbing it like the door. Kept rubbing it and stroking it and stuff like that. And I says, take it to the garage, get some quotes, and get it done. And then give me a ring and I'll sort it out. So that's where we are at the minute. I gave him my number, and he said, should I take your registration down? I says, well, if you want to, take registration down if you want. So I'm waiting for him to ring me now, or get in touch with me, text me or something. We cut some prices, and I'll have to pay for it, whatever it is. But I'm thinking, because it's on seam at door, which is like a tough bit of metal, it has to be quite sturdy, doesn't it? It's like a part of frame. Because it's that's been pressed in, I don't think they're going to be able to suck it out with one of them sucker things. I might be wrong. And it was a bit on the other side, so it could be an expensive coffee. That's just how it is. You know what I mean? I mean, other people have worse things in life than a little bump, but probably just a bit of a wake-up call, isn't it? Just to make sure that you're a bit more vigilant when you're driving. So I thought I'd just share that with you. You know, not all damp is rising. Some days are bad. But what you've got to do is not let it get you down. When there's more than one, when one happens and then another, don't think that you've got bad luck. It's just like that, ups and downs. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down, and you try and keep in an even keel. Don't get too up if it's going well for you. Don't get too down if it's not going so well for you. And what they say is, they go, things come in threes. But for people who have got issues with self-esteem and all that kind of thing, when they get into their head that, you know what I mean, bad luck comes in threes and all that, it's normally three things, from what psychiatrists say. It's normally three sort of major things what'll tip people over edge and get them to, do something serious. And it's normally a build-up of three things. So there'll have been little things, but it'd be three major things. Loss of a parent or a family member, loss of a dog, lose your job, not the other thing, split up with your partner. Three big ones, them, aren't there? They're holy grail, could be, that could tip you over edge. So listen, I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't know how you'd get over out like that. So yeah, my bit of advice, my 2 pence for it's worth. So I've told you about my bit of misdemeanor, and yeah, I don't know what else to say apart from have a brilliant weekend. It's Damp Sam signing off. Please subscribe and give us a like.